Welcome back to Talk with Tay podcast. We back with another episode. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm here today to talk about some confusing emotions that I've been dealing with lately. As you know, grief is not a linear path, right? When my mom first died, I always thought that I would go through stages in order, or that it would just be, like a specific way that you would have to deal with these things, these emotions, and everything that really comes with it, man. Lately, a few weeks ago, I kind of realized that, like, damn, I ain't cried in a minute. Nor have I thought about my mom the way that I usually do, right? I'll think about her. I'll think about those last times of seeing her in the hospital. Think about calling her phone while she was sick and I was away at school and she wouldn't answer. I'll always think about just the pain so much, right? When it came to my mother. Now, I never could think about anything happy, or positive about the situation. And it's like, this is my mom. Like, what am I doing, right? It's been, I'll probably say, almost a little over a month since I've cried when I think about my mom. I have this feeling now is where I just become so numb to everything, bro. Like, it's just a numb feeling. It's like I'm crying on the inside now. Like, water is just flushing, tears flushing through my body internally, right? Instead of actually crying. And then I didn't realize that I didn't cry for so long until I just sat up and thought about, like, damn, my mama probably think I'm not thinking about her. You know what I mean? Or I'm probably a bad son, or I'm probably not grieving anymore. That's kind of the emotions that I've been dealing with lately when it comes to grief. And I don't know if I don't know what this stage is right now. Feeling guilty for not crying, feeling guilty for not thinking about them in a certain way, or thinking about them at all, right? A little over 3 years now since my mom passed, and when it first happened, you couldn't tell me that I would not be just hurt 24/7 about this after, continuing life after that. And that's something I've been struggling with too. Just sitting here feeling guilty for going on with life. She's not here to see all of these things. She's not here. I can't talk to her. Most importantly, I think that's the part that's killing me the most about everything that I'm doing right now. It's her not being here to talk to me, right? Because for months until she passed, I didn't get to hear her voice. So when I sit back and think about that, it's like, damn, man, like, how is a person supposed to process something like that? Something so deep. Like, I didn't hear my mom's voice for months until she passed because she wasn't, physically, she could barely move, she could barely talk. So it would be verbal gestures in her face, when I would see her on FaceTime, or the times that I were able to visit her, she would do a lot of verbal things, or she would blink or move her hands, but she couldn't speak, man. And that was like, damn, that was hard. That was hard, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. But now I'm at this point where I feel like I don't deserve to go on with life. I don't deserve to have, a better life after my mom's passed, right? And I know that's a lot. It has a lot to do with God. Like, I am not sitting here saying that, my faith is running low or anything like that, or I don't trust in God's timing or anything. But It's hard. It's days where, again, I feel guilty for everything about my life after my mother's death. And I talked about this before about, how things started to happen for me. A lot of good things, right? A lot of good things started to happen and flourish, career-wise. Just everything except, my mental state. And I'm like, why is all these good things happening to me after something like this just happened, right? Like, I felt like I didn't deserve to live in those things. I didn't deserve that joy, those achievements. I didn't deserve it. That's how I felt. And especially, with the holidays just passing, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? Yeah, man, I wasn't crying. Like, and now I cried for the first time 2 days ago, actually. And I be sitting here thinking, like, damn, am I, like, why? I wonder what my mama would think about me not thinking about her or going on with life. But in reality, right, that's what we all say. That's what a person will want you to do, is not somber over things. They will want you to continue to do things that make you happy, achieve certain things, flourish in different ways, and ultimately at the end be happy. But I'm having a hard time still accepting that part of it because just the loneliness I felt and I dealt with when she passed away, man, I don't, that's tough, bro. Like, for real, that's real tough. Like, and I've been so numb to this shit now, even more now, because I don't know where I'm at in my grieving stages. My grieving phase. I don't know where I'm at. And again, like I say, these stages are not linear. I always thought, again, that they would come in certain ways or like in order. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, you're going to accept it. You're going to whatever, right? You're just going to come in order, man. That's far from the truth. That is far from the truth, man. I get every phase, every stage of grief at the most random times, man. And then when people think you're supposed to, accept it or accept it on their time, right? That hurts more because now you think you're not doing a good job. When really you showing up every day, you progressing at your own pace. Grief doesn't have a timeline. I know I'm prepared to be like this the rest of my life. Glory to God that I'm in a position that I'm in now where I'm actually doing better than I give myself credit for doing. Grief is one of those things where it makes you feel like you look back on everything that you done been through in life, right? You look all the fucked up things, all the hurt, the pain, the trauma. And then when something like that happens, like you lose a parent, you lose somebody close to you, you start to question everything around you. Was it really that bad? All of that shit that I went through, was it really that bad? And now I'm struggling with that now too. So, and I done been through some shit. Everybody has a story. I done been through a lot of hurt, man, that I still carry. I wear on my sleeve every day. It's a lot of things it's hard to break. And again, that numbness feeling as you progress through life, that's, you become accustomed to it. So in a sense, it's like, you never forget it. And it makes you feel different, each year of your life. So that's where I am with that. And I don't know what hurts more, everything that I've been through up until this point, or if, or losing someone like my mom. I'm stuck between understanding why this happened to me. I don't think I'm questioning it no more, but I'm stuck in between like, okay, why was God preparing me this entire time for something like this? My mom died, I didn't think I would be here no longer than a year, if I'm being, completely honest with y'all. I was convinced. I knew. I was like, man, I'm gonna get tired of this shit, and I'm gonna, you know, end my own life, like for real. Like that's how it was for me. I just knew it. You know what I mean? It was just a matter of time. No matter what I was doing and all the things that I was doing after life, I just knew. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna be here. And then when you lonely during those, when you having those thoughts, you going through those things, that makes it even easier to make a decision, right? Or to put it in your head, like, okay, shit, ain't nobody here for me anyway. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and do that. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. Still have those moments though. Still have thoughts of like, if I was to leave, what would that do? You know what I mean? Would it take all of my pain away? I mean, I wouldn't be able to experience anything anymore. So essentially, yeah, right. But what about the people along this journey? Me being such a considerate person, I always think about how if I would have made that decision, how it would have impacted everyone else's life. And I can honestly say, like, that was the thing that stopped me from, from really doing it. I ain't gonna lie to you. God as well, but, like, that was the thing that kind of stopped me from doing it. But I've been feeling so guilty, man. So guilty for not thinking about my mom in the ways that I did when I was fresh in it, the loss itself. I'm still fresh in the grieving phase and stages of everything, but it's like now I think I've turned so cold and so numb to the fact of pain. Like when shit hurts me now, I move. It's like, yeah, I knew it was coming. You know what I mean? And then people along the way too, someone is always gonna hurt you in certain ways, especially words. I don't understand how people, I don't understand how someone can see a person going through something like this, right, and still say certain things to them where that shit hurt. And it's not so much about the words itself. It's about, like, damn, you really, like, this is who you are. This is the type of person that you're displaying right now. You really gonna say things that hurt me about this shit. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. That makes everything so much harder when you're grieving, right? Because again, not everybody experienced this, and people don't know how to handle this shit. And I said this before too. After a while, man, people will forget about, how bad this shit hurts you, right? They'll see it in the beginning. The early stages of how bad it's affecting you, but after a while, their reality would kick in on how they see you. And then all of that shit goes out the window. That's why grief is one of those things where it's just like, man, you don't know what to expect at any time from people, from yourself, from your surroundings. Like you don't know. I don't think you truly know how to navigate it, even as the many years go by. I really don't think you know how. I just think you take it for what it is. Time comes with it, and you either become numb or you try you try to work through it, but I don't really think you ever work through it. You always hear the saying like time heals, heals itself. I mean, whatever fuck that shit is. It gets better over time. All of those things like that. But that is far from the truth, man. I don't like right now, right? I still feel the same way I do when my mom first passed. It's just it's displaying different now. It's a different aura behind it. You know what I mean? It's a different vibe. It's so different, man. But that pain, that hurt of her passing, that shit is very much still there. Like fresh, like sitting, boiling, cooking, right? It's cooking right in there. And it's like, oh man, like your heart becomes cold, everything becomes numb, and you sit in those emotions and you just go on with life, right? You become a functional, depressing person. I'm sitting in that shit right now, bro. Like, and I'm back at this stage where I'm running from the emotions again of my mother, and I don't understand why, bro. I don't understand it. Why? I don't understand it. Because I have an idea, right? Again, I feel guilty for not crying, for not thinking about her, or for not. I feel guilty for not being sad about it. And nobody ever told me it was a stage like this. For real. I don't. And that's the thing too. Everybody deals with it differently, right? So you never know. You never know how a death affects a person. I've seen people lose their parents, lose people close to them, and I don't know, they handle it differently. You know what I mean? And that's okay. We don't all love the same. We don't all deal with death the same. So I don't like to compare myself or anyone's um, journey, but I do know there's a lot of people out here who feel the same way about how I feel. And I just want to know, is this a normal thing to feel guilty about not crying or not thinking about someone after they're gone? Because again, I didn't think I would ever get to a place where I'm able to talk about this, like in real time, like just real life talk about it and not show any emotion, right? But that goes back to say like that numbness is like settled in. It's officially here. Like I don't be wanting to talk to people. You know what I mean? I go on with life, my career, I work. I got to talk to people. I have to interact. I have to be very active because of the things that I'm doing, right? I focus on taking care of myself. I take pride in that, but it's like, man, I don't know if I don't think I'll ever have, a point in my life where I can feel safe around people again. I know I talked about this before, but man, words do hurt. It is not so much the words itself. It's about like, why would you say something like that to people, man? Like I don't like I've literally had people tell me that like your mother's dead, you need to accept it. Like I be thinking like what is wrong with people? Like truly, what is wrong with people? When you allow certain shit like that into your circle, or anything of that nature, that sets you back in the process of it. Sets you back in the process of it, because now you're trying to process all these emotions about the death, about the loss, about your life. And then when somebody say something like that to you, like, nah, like, I don't want to accept that. I don't have to right now. I don't have to ever accept it, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I still, to this day, bro, I still sometimes, I get confused and think my mama's still here, bro. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. There's times where I feel like, nigga, I could pick up the phone, bro, and call. When I pick that phone up, that's when that shit hit me right there. You know what I mean? Like, I got my mama picture, me and my favorite, my favorite picture of me and her on my screensaver. That's gonna be for life. I want that to be forever. I can't wait to get it tatted on me as well, but man, it's just like, wow. Fuck. And this is where the emotion come at. Like I told y'all, bro, I ain't cried in a minute. For real, I cried for the first time the other day, but it wasn't really shit. Like, you know what I mean? But now it's like, man, this shit working now, boy. And I don't really care, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't care about crying. Like, I ain't never cared about it, but it's just like, how did I get to the point where it's like I'm not thinking about my mama, bro? Like, I be thinking is like, shit, is she mad at me for not thinking of her? For thinking of her? You know what I'm saying? Like, is she questioning it? Like, is she, what is she thinking about that? And that put me in a dark place for about a week and a half, man, because I was like, damn, like, she probably think I'm really not missing her or anything. And then after a while, you have to understand, like, you have to try to understand, like, when you get to this stage of grief, if you don't go a day without thinking of them or crying or however long it is, it doesn't take away the love that you have for that person. It doesn't change anything about how you feel about the death and how you're doing in your grieving stage, man. It's, these emotions that we go through, these phases and these stages of grief, again, they're not linear. So you can literally experience every stage all at once. For example, acceptance. Acceptance is the most tricky one to me because it's like, they're gone, bro. Like, it's there. That person is no longer here, right? That person is no longer here. But then you have moments, you have days where you feel like, damn, are they really here? Are they really gone? Or shit, can I talk to them? Can I call them? And it might take you a minute for that shit to kick in, but when it do, oh my God, bro, it's the worst feeling ever. It's the worst fucking feeling ever, bro. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't. The thing, people misunderstand a lot about, you know, grieving is they expect, they expect it to look a certain way. They expect you to, over time, just because, and you may be healing in a certain way. You may not be showing it as much, right? You may not be showing the emotions of it, but it's still there. And then people would think you're all fine, you're all cool about it, but that's really a part of it, the numbness stage. I feel like I'll be in the numbness stage going forward for the rest of my life. Easily, I'll be in it for the rest of my life. I truly feel like that, man. That's why it took me so long to actually even get this episode out, because I'm like, bro, I don't know what I feel right now, and I don't even know how it's making me feel. I don't know what it is. It's like you can feel the numbness, right? You can just feel your heart just aching, bro. Like the pain, you can just feel everything. You can physically feel it, right? You could just, it's like somebody wrapping a blanket around your heart right now, like inside your chest or some shit, or just wrapping you up in some cold paper or whatever. But it's not always the best feeling, for real. So, man, I miss my mom so much, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I miss my mom so much, man. I'm at that point where I'm running from those emotions again. There was a point last year, when I was able to listen to her voicemails and actually listen to them, because I went a long time without being able to even crack one open and hear her voice. And it's like, bro, why don't I want to hear that? And now I'm back here again. I'm at square one with that shit, like zero, whatever. I can't do it. I can't listen to him, bro. And I always remember my mom's voice. You know what I mean? I can hear it. I can hear it right now, but I can't. If I was to open this phone, bro, and play it, like, oh, man, nah. The voicemail she used to leave me, bro, this was so warming, bro. It was so full of love, man. Just shit that you just can't, things you can't get back. Granted, I still have them on this phone, so, when I get to that point in life where I can listen to them all the time, and maybe I can, let my kids hear it one day, you know what I mean? But that's like, damn. And I got so many of them, man, because like me and my mama was like this, bro. She's the only person that could just make everything bad go away instantly to me. Everything, bro. If I was having a bad day, I don't even gotta call her and tell her I'm having a bad day. You feel me? I could just call her and talk to her. Like, that's my mama. Like, call and chop it up with her. She made everything, her spirit just made everything just disappear. And I've always battled with depression, mental health, and grief before. A lot of people that I love, I've lost. But obviously it doesn't hit as hard as this. And I know, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm struggling now so much because, that was my safe space. And I didn't even tell my mom everything about what was ever going on in my life all the time. You know what I mean? But she was just there, bro. Like, she was always there to talk to me. She loved her kids. She loved me. She was always there to talk to me. She could pull me out of any situation. Everything, bro, no matter what it was. And she always wanted me to be okay. That's why I be struggling now because it's like, damn, I can't hear her say it. You know what I mean? I can't talk to her. I can't know what she's thinking right now about what I'm going through. And it has everything to do with her. So it's like, damn, bro, like, what the fuck? This shit is hard, man. This shit is like, it's super hard, man. Dealing with all of these stages at different days and different times, man. You don't know what's gonna come next when you're grieving. For real, you never know what's gonna come next. Or what stage you're gonna wake up in today. Like, you never know. Like even right now in this moment, bro, I still feel guilty right now for not crying for a while. But when I cry now, like, I feel guilty for not physically crying, like tears coming down my face, but I cry a lot in the inside. Like, if I had to explain it, it's almost like a burning or a cold and hot, you know what I mean, type of feeling just going through your body, man. It's just, I don't know. But it's like you bleed. Like, it's so many ways to explain it, man. It's just like something is flushing through your soul, man. You're internally just flushing through your body, like, and you just can't do nothing about it. You got to sit in there and let it happen. Boy, that's a feeling that's like, damn. Some days I don't know how I'm able to just function for real. I don't know because I feel this way every day, right? I work, I record, I edit, I work out, I go to the store. I don't know how I'm doing all of these things right now. And dealing with people that don't understand it, man, that's like the worst part ever, man. It's like you just like, damn, am I gonna be alone forever? Am I gonna feel lonely in this forever? Right? I know people understand. I know it's a lot of people on my platform that understand this, but like, it's like, man, what about outside of this? Like, I ain't really been the best person to a lot of people for real. Since my mom died, man, I just go ghost on people. This shit hurt me so bad that I don't even want to talk. Like, and if I do, that shit is real. It's short lived for real. Is this normal? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. Like, I don't know if this is a normal thing. I'm not the person that I once, that I once used to be. You know, I miss certain parts about that old me for sure, right? I'm not as outgoing and like that no more. I don't, I don't joke around like I used to. I don't laugh like I used to. And I know there's, when you're working towards something in life, you want to achieve things that you have to change certain things about you, right? And I get that part. I'm not mad at that part. It's just like, just when you think you getting to a good spot while grieving, that shit, it'll sit you right back down and start you over. People always tell me all the time they look like I'm doing all right. Like, what I mean, I'm handling it well. But I'm not. I just probably handle it better than you. I'm not talking about anybody specifically. I'm just saying I probably handle it better than the average person, but I don't know how I'm doing this. God, of course, but it's like, how is it this much strength in a person, man? How? How is it this much strength in a person? Everything that's happened in life, right? Everything that's happened, man. Years and years and years of shit just, uh, happening to you, affecting you. A lot of pain, a lot of hurt, all of that, right? Then when something like this happens, man, oh man, it X's out everything that's ever happened to you in life. Nothing, bro. You can name it. I didn't been through it, bro. You can name it. I didn't been through it, and I would choose everything that I went through in life 1,000 times beside this. And I'm trying. Like I'm trying every day. You know what I'm saying? I see people. People reach out to me and whatever, right? But it's like, bro, I don't. When I was little, I used to always say, I want to help people. All right. I feel like I always wanted to help people. And I knew that was my purpose in life at an early age, to help people, right? I always thought it would be helping in certain ways, a specific way. I thought, that I would give a bunch of money away one day to people in need, which I will do someday. But I thought that was just it. Like, yeah, I see it. Because I always, growing up poor, I seen people that was poorer than me, and I felt fucking super bad. And I was just like, damn, like I know I ain't got nothing like that, but this person ain't got shit. That shit used to make me feel like super bad, bro. Like, so that's why I always thought like, okay, that's how I'm gonna help people in life. When I get money and I'm gonna just give it back, And I've done a lot of things that I don't gotta talk about giving, right? Just being a giver. But that I don't seeing me talk about this and be so transparent about it. It's helped people more than I can imagine, right? And it's just people that are telling me this. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. And this goes back to say, like, God preparing you for things in life that you never would expect. A person that always wanted the help that I'm doing now, right? What I'm giving to the world, the purpose that I'm walking in. That's what I always wanted from somebody. And I never could get it, right? And I would be so upset about it. And then my mom dies. And, I start talking about this journey and it's helping people. That will fuck you up. That'll send you down a rabbit hole quick. Like I know now that it was meant to be. Like my mother had to pass away in order for me to walk in my purpose more. You never could have imagined that be the reason why I have to do the things that I'm assigned to do on this earth. I always thought my mom would be here while I was doing these things, right? While I was walking in my purpose, serving. I thought she would be here with me. I thought she would be here to cheer me on, be here to watch me do these things. But she had to go in order for me to do it. I miss that lady so much, bro. She never once doubted me with anything in life, bro. Biggest supporter, everything I did, you feel me? Like, yeah, I don't even got no tissue in this bitch, bro. Yeah, bro, that shit, like, it make you question everything about just life existing, man. Like, she had to go in order for me to succeed and actually do things fulfilling, bro. That don't even that don't even make sense, bro. But the more and more I do this, the more I understand. You know what I mean? Like, and those emotions are still there. That numbness is still there. That why factor. Like, and I'm still not done learning why, she had to go. Right? I got a glimpse of it by doing this and talking about it and sharing my story, but I still, it's still a lot to unpack from that. And that's what's, and I'll be honest, that's sometimes what makes it easier on me mentally, because I know I always wanted to help people, right? But damn, I didn't think I had to lose my favorite person to help people. That's not how I envision it, but God always has a plan for you. And it's up to you to trust him with that. And I do trust him, but it does hurt. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, I fully accept this journey that I'm on, because I don't accept it yet. That shit make me angry, man. That's why I stay to myself a lot, cause you just never know. You never know what can trigger you, bro. And I've learned throughout these last few years that people are what trigger me. Like, while I was going through this phase, bro. Like, I don't, and I'm okay with admitting if I was ever a problem in any situation, friendship, whatever it was. I'm okay with admitting that, because I've always done wrong. Like, we not gonna sit here and ignore that fact. You know what I mean? I haven't been the best person to a lot of people, right? People know me in a different light too, just like I know them in a different light, and that's okay. But everything that I've always, every misunderstanding, whatever it was, I've always been a bigger person about it, in the sense of like just going and making sure that I at least talk to that person and understand where I went wrong. You know what I mean? And I've never been the best at it. You know what I mean? Some people, sometimes it just doesn't work out. You get what I mean? And sometimes people won't, acknowledge, take accountability for the things that they did. But I always say grief is one of those things where you have to experience it to understand. And I talk about a lot of important people in my life since my mom died, and they're important because they're a part of the story, right? They're a part of why I feel these ways about certain things and about how I talk to people, feeling safe to talk about people, and what they've said to me throughout this journey. They're important, super important, because a few of those people, I end up talking to them not too long ago, right? Some of the people that, said a lot of fucked up shit to me while I was grieving didn't understand it, right? And I don't want people to understand this or feel this, but I end up talking to those people after, man, and they told me that they understood everything that I said now, right? Because they experienced something experience life to that extent. That's why I tell people, you just be kind, bro. You never know. One day you have to understand it. One day you gonna feel it. You know, you can have, you know, everything going right in your life. Then randomly somebody leaves that you didn't prepare for, right? You can't prepare for somebody to leave. I just hope that I'm now, as I, learn more and more about grief and how it progresses throughout life, I hope that I don't even know if I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I just hope that it's like I hope I continue to learn through these things and be a coach to myself, right? I'm prepared for a lifetime of figuring this out. And I may do it alone, I may do it with somebody, you never know. It's whatever God wants it, I've accepted, the cards that were dealt to me officially. You know what I mean? I accepted this journey. I accept being misunderstood. I just accept everything about it. And right now I'm just gonna focus on not feeling guilty for not crying or thinking about my mother. I need to spend some time with myself and figure out why, figure this emotion out and what it's really about. Because you read about things, you read about stages of grief, you read about all of this, right? This is not one that I actually ever saw, right? I never saw no one really talk about this. Just not thinking about the person that you lost, your favorite person, somebody that meant the world to you. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, there is someone, a lot of people who's dealing with that. And I find it was so strange, man. I was dealing with this silently, right? And I wasn't on social media like that. I wasn't doing any content things related. And somebody messaged me on TikTok, and they were going through the same thing. This is random, bro. I promise you, this is random. They asked me, they was like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" I'm like, "Yeah, going on." This is a person who, watches my videos and understands my experiences, right? So they said, "I want to ask you something." I said, "Yeah, what's up?" Explain their story about how they've been feeling guilty for not thinking about, someone that they've lost, and how they've been afraid to move on and enjoy life and enjoy things that they've been doing, vacation and all of that stuff, and not thinking about them. And it was more in depth than that. I'm just giving you, the hierarchy of it. But when I read that shit, I'm like, bro, how? Like, how am I going through this right now and somebody randomly just messaged me that shit? That's how you know it's so much to unpack when you lose someone. It's so much, man. It's so much to deal with. And you never know, right, until you find out someone else understands this feeling. And that's like, I don't think people talk about this enough either. So, what happens when the grief becomes quiet? Like, that's the conversation that we need to be having, because it's hard. It's easy to just bypass it, right? To not pay it no attention. To see someone go through to grieve really hard, then boom, you don't see it no more. But that person still feels. So that's the thing where it's like, nah, that's a different ball game, man. That's something that's like I can't explain that feeling, man. I never saw this coming. So now I'm just preparing myself to, you know, always be prepared for the unexpected when it comes to the feeling and the emotions and the stages of grief, because it's for a lifetime, for real. It's for a lifetime, man. Man, that's all I got for today, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. I appreciate all the supporters, all the followers, all the people that understand what I'm going through. And I just hope everybody's doing well, man. I hope everybody is. It's a lot going on in the world right now. Won't speak too much on that, but I hope everybody is doing good, bro. And yeah, appreciate y'all for being with me on this journey. So yeah, I'm out, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media. So all social medias, Talk with Tay Pod. And I appreciate y'all until next time, man.